heart attack. Fast, fatal, heart impact. Past painful scars, in fact, I blast tasteful bars and pass. I back up my actions, fact, don't ask, grab reactions, jacked, attack with every word, then act with class as they hear me snap. I got nothing to lose, cause I fought and felt the bruise. Now I'm not the one confused, call the shots and they produce. I ain't lost, I'm finally loose, pick a new submerged juice. I need the views to boost me to a new abuse of being used. Everybody wants a piece now, y'all can rest in peace now. You're dead to me, so peace out. Remember you're discreet now, get ready for defeat now.
Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Minishot here, and now, before we get into this mini shot, I know this one is a bit stranger. However, this series and the story idea, yeah, I'm a little bit more invested in this story. 'Cause I play a shit ton of New Vegas. Now, with that out of the way, let us pick up somewhere. Right now we'll cut somewhere on the Vegas Strip, somewhere in Freeside, where there's a bar. Right now there are a lot of people. Some strange shit has been happening. And within the last month alone, there has been quite a bit of crime, if you do want to give it that way, or title. However, let's just call it what it actually is. There have been a shit ton of fucking murders. And recently, many people are pointing to a legend. Something that they have seen, but no one's really been able to confirm. There are people who claim to have seen it. However, there's no proof. And any proof that anyone could try to give you, it's about what you'd expect. It's nothing more than a pool of either guts or ripped apart mangled bodies. That they do have claw marks. Now, at first many people believed it just to be a death claw. However, there is something strange. Evidence on the body suggests that there have been castor attacks. And I mean, yeah. As if that wasn't weird enough, the strange poison, the claw marks, and missing equipment these people would have, it's pointed to a lot of things. Many people are pointing to a few theories, or even ideas. The people who have survived to see these claims, they're claiming that there is a sentient Deathclaw roaming the wasteland. And most people, they are calling it, well, the Demon of the Mojave, or others have called it a ghost, because it's there for 1 second, and then it's just gone. Now, we do actually have Deku, who right now he is sitting at the other end of the bar. And he is hearing about this stuff. Right now, he has a lot to say about it. However, he'll just be sitting here enjoying his drink, as he actually just want to look up and ask if the person behind the bar, they can get him another drink. Now, the person, they do at least ask Deku if he is going to pay up front, or will they just have to put it down on his tab? Now, Deku going to reach down, him grabbing a few caps out of his pocket, and then just going to slam them down, telling them that if they're going to be that way, then just leave the bottle, and leave the cola. Now, the person actually going to look over to Deku, who right now, they've been somewhat monitoring his body, and his hand. Whenever Deku does go to bring his hand up to put down money or even just to try and do anything, they've noticed something. Deku has had a wound across his hand. If they're right about it, it looks like a knife wound. And, well, from what they're able to tell, it's been healing the entire time he's been here. So, they're curious. Them walking over and taking a seat next to Deku, who right now he does go to bring down his hand, grab his drink, and go to at least put it up to his face. The person asking exactly if he has a few stories to tell. Me? Yeah. You got quite the nasty scar from in there. I got a few questions about that. Oh. This. Yeah. This is nothing special. It was, well, a junkie out there in the waste. Really? Yeah, got too close to me with a combat knife. put a bullet in him, and he's dead now. I took some of his shit, sold it whenever I got back into town. Huh. Are you sure about that? Pretty sure, yeah. Guy was a bit of a bastard, too, so I don't really feel too bad about it. Then again, he's probably bloat five food now. Or probably caster food. I don't know. You sure about that? Pretty sure. Why? Well, I'm just curious. What do you know about the ghost of Mojave? Now, Deku always go to someone stop. Him, slightly turning his head, is the person to go to see him. As when they do go to look at Deku under that hood, they can tell by the look in his eye that this guy, he has seen some shit. In Deku's face, it can be seen someone's scarred. And the man can tell that Deku, the look in his eye, it's one that he's seen in very many men. However, yeah, most of the men who have seen that look, or have had that look in their eye, they've dealt with fiends, and they've dealt with the Legion. He's seen a guy get crucified and have that look, whenever they pulled him down from those crosses. And right now, he's seen that look on a stranger. The man's still going to back up. Before Deku is going to turn. Him going to grab the bottle of whiskey before going to bring it up to his lips. As most of the people in the bar, they're going to watch the current spectacle. As half the bottle straight down the throat. And right now, Deku, he does at least pull his face away from it. Before going to set the bottle back down, and then go to just go finish his drink. Him doing it in one go. You want to know a story? Fine. I'll tell you a story. But if you interrupt me, I might put a bullet in your leg. Really? After that, shit, I'm a bit more curious now. So, Deku bring his hand up. And the moment his hand is seen, the man is going to stare down at it. There's a slash across his palm. Listen, I'll tell you the story. However, be aware, it's not for the faint of heart. Let's see. That's fine. That's a good place to start. Out in the wasteland, there's a secret vault. Ever heard stories about it? No. Wait, a secret vault? Really? Don't get your hopes up anywhere near like that. Let me tell you one thing. This vault, it wasn't a safe haven. It wasn't a place out in the desert where sunshine and happiness reigns, where purified water and all the food you could eat till you're stuffed like a goddamn bighorner is possible. So, let me explain. Vault-Tec. The motherfuckers in charge. They are very dangerous. What was it? From my understanding in exploring the wasteland so far, in the last couple months, there are tons of vaults littered around here in the Mojave. Every one of them are fucked up in some way or another. And it seems like back in DC, it might be the same way there. DC. Yeah. I've heard some stories from some traders. I asked about what's going on up there, and the stories I've gotten back, they're not too good. I mean, I met this one guy who I think he's hanging out west, but I'm not exactly too sure. But listen, what was his name? Vince? Yeah, I think his name was Vince. The guy, he told me a lot about what happened in DC. Connecting the dots is not that hard to piece together. Vault-Tec. The people who were supposed to save humanity, they spit in their faces and laughed. In this vault, there's an experiment happening. One that was supposed to change humanity forever. For the greater good. So, they're going to turn and pull back his hood. As the moment he does, the man is going to start looking at Deku. There is a large scar across the side of Deku's face. That, coupled with a few of the things he does see on him, he doesn't look natural. I mean, the guy, he's wearing an animal skin around his neck. It's so leathery. Jesus. So, Vault-Tec, they decide to try and experiment. Roughly about 20 or so years ago, maybe even 30, they wanted to do test how radiation affected animals. They saw how that went. When they finally opened their own vault's doors, they were horrified by what they found. So, it's easy to understand what they did. They experimented. There just so happens to be a very nice little hidden gem that Vault-Tec, they had access to. What was it? The United States military. Crazy scientist. They invented drugs, they invented diseases, and they've invented viruses. There's one up in DC, but what happens whenever a virus, it just so happens to be able to affect people in ways that are not natural. Oh, what do you mean? Like an extra limb, extra arm, extra eye? That's just radiation affecting and fucking up your DNA. Let's see you're smart. So, Deku is going to bring up his hand, and holding up a knife, expressing to him, the next time he cuts him off, he'll cut him. And the man is going to start looking at Deku, as one man is going to bring up his knife, or not his knife, his gun, and step forward towards Deku, expressing that he needs to be aware. Threats like that won't get by in here. And if he really does want a problem, then he needs to take it outside. Deku turned to look at the man, who he is holding onto a rifle. And Deku does inform the man that he wants no trouble here. He just wants to be left alone, and right now he's telling these guys a bit of history. Now, Deku would go on. 30 years ago, there was a virus put into many residents of a vault. When said virus began to start showing effects on people, aka strange fucked up shit, there was eventually a project. They wanted to test what it could do to children. Then they wanted to go a bit further. And then they got a little less ethical. And then they did what they did best. They wanted to see if they could make an experiment that could survive the wasteland. And eventually they succeeded. Albeit the experiment got loose. And anyone who does remain of that vault, they are out in the wasteland. Or they are headed far as fuck away from the Mojave. Because they know eventually they will be killed by the very thing they released. Really? And how do you know about this vault? They just aren't going to smile and turn to the man. And the man, he does see Deku's sharpened teeth. As Deku does inform him, he knows because he was that experiment. Now, the man is going to somewhat start laughing. And Deku, his smile, does going to somewhat fade. As he does going to fully turn his body towards the man and inform him that he's not lying. Are you serious? That's fucking hilarious. So, what happened with Vault-Tec then? Why haven't we been seeing more of these people out there? You claim that strange shit happen to people. Like what? Oh, I don't know. Things people can't usually do. You know. Float shit and throw it with their minds. Fly, shoot lasers out of their hands. Produce electricity. Regenerate a lost limb. Turn into monsters. Now, the man does stare at Deku. As Deku, he does actually go to stand up. And whenever he does so, the man does notice that Deku, he's bulging with a bit more muscle than he first thought. I mean, the guy looked to be pretty well in shape, but okay, this is getting a bit more, well, surprising. Now, Deku will go to bring up his left hand. Whenever he does so, he does going to reach out and grab onto it, grabbing onto the container of whiskey that he did have there, talking about how the experiments Voltec did, they messed with a lot of people. They messed with a lot of things. And then the reason why he wants revenge. He wants to find the people responsible for experimenting on him, the ones who tortured him whenever he was just a child. He wants to find out where those scientists went, and whenever he does, they can bring up his right hand. As his hand, it looks like a death claws. And the man is going to take a step backwards. Jesus Christ. I will feel their guts in my claws. Now, have a good day, gentlemen. They're going to walk away. And the man right now, he's trying to understand what just happened. 1 second, the guy was telling a story. The next, he was telling the truth. Okay, hang on. Dude, you alright? You look pretty shaken. Yeah, I think I'm on too much jet. Really, man? I mean, you took a hit before we came in here, didn't you? I mean, I took a few, but you really didn't see that. See what? The dude's hand, it was a fucking death claws. Now, the guy is going to look to at his friend, telling him that he's got to chill, calm down on the medics, or jet, and just stop. Right now, they can leave. I mean, hell, well, it is going to kill his buzz. He seems like he just saw a ghost. Now, the man is still somewhat curious about what Deku did talk about. Vault-Tec experiments? These people with abilities? Okay, that's strange. Now, we do currently cut to outside of New Vegas, or Las Vegas, where Deku, he left the city. He wanted to stop in real quick and drop off some things. There were some people who decided to mess with him, and he took what he could and got some caps. And right now, he needs to continue his travel. He's thinking about leaving Vegas. He knows where one of those people might have gone, and so far, the scent he's had is getting cold. If he can't pick up on it very soon, he's going to have to give up on them. And Deku's mind is somewhat going to flash back, as we do cut back to Deku, who currently he is at the age of 7 years old. And he does have a horn protruding from the top of his head. As he does get a look around the room, as his eyes, they are completely black. Him strapped onto a table asking exactly if they are going to continue the test. Yes, we are. Subject 702. Listen. This is all for the greater good. However, this will be painful. Please be advised. We are going to be giving you a tremendous amount of electronic shock. Please be aware. If you do flatline, we will resuscitate you. And if the conditions are not to be expected, then this will be very painful. We believe so far that your abilities, they're what we're looking for. However, we might need to modify you a little bit more. Now, before Deku can even open his mouth, there is over someone just walking up. Them stuffing something under Deku's mouth, and then going to throw it over his head. As, when that does actually happen, a switch is flipped and Deku, he is sent, well, screaming, into a violent fit. As right now, he is in a lot of pain. And we do currently cut back to the current day. Where Deku, yeah. Right now, he does look forwards. There are some legionaries there. And he is not in a good mood. As whenever the men do come walking up, they do try to see exactly who he is. However, whenever Deku, he doesn't even waste time, he does start changing. As whenever wings do flow out of his back, they do stare on. And Deku, he does just go to do one more thing. He goes to pull the thing off of his body. As when he does so, he does at least throw his legs forwards and his hands onto the ground. As his body does start to somewhat elongate, his bones getting stronger, as his skin does become a bit more reptilian. And Deku does go look up, as his face does protrude forwards. Now, a few of the legionaries, they're confused. They have been trained to deal with some crazy shit. However, that guy just turned into a fucking Deathclaw. A fucking Deathclaw. Nope. No. Some people do go to run. And right now, there is over a man, he does try to at least maintain some composure. Him going to raise his weapon to attack Deku. However, Deku, he is fast. And the moment he does go rushing forwards, he does literally throw a handful of dirt towards the man. The man at least going to have it hit him directly up into the goggles as he does try to bring his hand up. And the moment he does go look around. He wiped away some of the dirt. However, that large thing, where is it? Where is it? Him going to look around. There's no one there. Where did it go? No, it was just here. Where is it? Him hearing a scream. As whenever he does so, he doesn't look behind him. As that scream is then cut short. He hears a second one, and then a third. And then he's left there. As he does at least pick a direction and start running. Him running towards the area where his friends, they may have just been killed. And whenever he does get to the scene, there is what he does see. One of his friends, they're just laying there. A super sledge next to them. And their arm, it's been torn from their body. Jesus Christ. And then his other friend. There are holes in his gut. And his legs, they're missing. Now, he does look around for his last friend, trying to find out where he is. However, the front half of his body is sent falling directly in front of him. As whenever he does go to step backwards, he does get a trip over his friend's legs. Now, when that does actually happen, there is whenever he does start to hear the voice. It sounds grisly, like somebody who's been smoking for an entire century. And they forgot exactly how to talk. Their voice might as well be boiled in leather, as they do hear it. Exactly what does Caesar try to gain? He sends you after me. He knows you're at this point, he's just sending me snacks, doesn't he? Now, the man, he does look around. As whenever he does finally see Deku, he is going to try and raise his weapon up. Him bring up the weapon, as Deku is going to bring up his hand. Him grabbing onto the gun, as it is going to fire. Now, Deku is going to look directly down, at his chest, as the bullet, it is firmly placed and lodged in Deku's, hide. And Deku with his other hand, he is going to bring it up. His claws digging into the bullet and pulling it free, as there is a small dent in Deku's skin. And the guy, yeah, he does sit there. And Deku, he does at least look up towards him. His eyes are that of a reptile, and they are very terrifying. Now, Deku, he does effortlessly pull the gun free, before spinning it around in his right hand, and going to pull the guy upwards and into the air. I've told you, legionary bastards, leave me alone. My fight's not with you. Go after the courier. I hear he's pissed you off a lot more than I have. So now, I'll leave you with this. You will be the message. so So you're gonna let me live? Oh, I never said that. Deku going to the rookie shove the rifle through the guy. And the moment the gun is put through him, Deku is gonna let go of him, dropping him. And the man he is laying down, right there on the ground, surrounded by his friends. He's in a lot of fucking pain. And his gut, it hurts so bad. It hurts really bad. Now, the guy is at least trying to shout out for help, and at least trying to beg to not be left here to die. However, Deku, he does gonna walk away. Him holding onto that super sledge, and thinking about what to do. Him walking back over to the cloak, as whenever he does so, he is gonna pick it up. And he is gonna turn directly back towards the man. Now, Deku, he would gonna walk back over, expressing as he's gonna bend down to the top half of the legionary that it is tough shit. If he didn't want to die, he shouldn't have come after him. He should be aware. The Legion aren't hot shit. The NCR, they're on their own bullshit. And then there are the cons. He actually just tolerates the cons. They don't fuck with him and he doesn't fuck with them. That's how he operates. So, if they want to try and survive, then try to learn the rules. Don't fuck with the top dog and the Mojave. Because he will bite. Now, Deku is going to pull a pair of sunglasses off of the Legionary before going to put them up to his face and on. Before he does a jerky turn around and start walking away. While he does so, the Legionary he is watching. His vision is getting blurry, but just before it does finally fade, he saw Deku. He was there 1 minute. He was walking away and then he blinked and then he was gone. He wasn't there anymore. Where did he go? Now, the Legionary would fall unconscious. As I do believe that is a good point to leave this part off of. And I do hope you guys enjoyed. And have an amazing day. I'll catch you guys in the next mini shot.